Hey everyone, today is an update, but it's not necessarily a good one. There's been a lot of things that have happened over the past 2 months that has sort of turned reality on its head for me. That specifically being some recent health information that I got. It was completely unexpected, came out of nowhere. I was fine 1 minute, and the next thing I knew, I got some very bad news. And the truth is, I don't even fully know what's going on. And that adds a whole other layer of stress within itself. Because doctors want to tell you probable causes, what to look out for, and how bad things can get. Some of what they say can pertain to your situation, and some of it may not. And I do understand why they do this. But finding the answers that actually explain things isn't really a straightforward process. There's a lot of trial and error, and it leaves a lot of uncertainty. So all I can really do in this situation is hope for the best while unavoidably stressing about the worst. I just keep hoping that it's all some sort of misunderstanding, since there's always a slight chance of that being a possibility, especially when things like this literally come out of nowhere. But regardless of if I would be so fortunate or not, none of that is guaranteed right now. So I still have to take this seriously. When it comes to what information I do have about my circumstance, I'm doing everything that I can to manage what I'm aware of. But even that has become extremely time consuming and also obviously stressful. Between that and other health concerns that have come up, even outside of the main one, there's now a pile of tests and classes and exams that I'm trying to keep up with while managing the rest of my life. So it then becomes very clear why I haven't been uploading lately. There have even been some opportunities that presented themselves that I never had access to before, right around the same time as this distressing news. But even that came with its own stress due to the time consumption of navigating said opportunities. Because pursuing opportunities is a process. It's not something that just presents itself and you reach the conclusion, at least in most cases, in reality. And because of all this, once I realized just how long this process is going to take, I realized that I couldn't manage everything as it is right now, and that the hard truth is that something's got to give. And unfortunately for me, I've come to the conclusion that that needs to be my channel. There is one video that I'm still working on, and I do plan to upload it. It is a topic that I've personally been invested in for probably a decade now, and it's not YouTube Gate. On the subject of YouTube Gate, for those who know all about that project, I've reached a point in editing it where, despite my efforts, I can't manage to do that right now, even if I had the time and all this stuff wasn't going on. The reason for this being is that after watching so much footage and editing so much of the same footage over and over again, rewatching, adding things, taking things out, re-adding things, recontextualizing things, duplicating things because you have to re-show clips. When you put all that together for such a long project, it's gotten to the point where it's all become a blur. And that's saying something, because I actually have a script for this extremely long video. Since it's in a different style than I typically do, a script is helpful for me with YouTube Gate specifically. And even then, that can't help this dilemma that I'm having psychologically. Because when it comes down to it, every time I edit a section, I'm constantly forgetting if I edited out every swear, inserted information, added recordings, took things out, etc. Because after you watch so much footage so many times over, your mind is remembering things that are no longer left in the video and things that need to be added, regardless of if you've already done it or need to do it. And for one, making a checklist for something as big as YouTube Gate isn't really going to work, because as you make a video like that, new things come to light, you make changes, you scratch out stuff, and even if you had a very detailed checklist, it doesn't change the fact that we are humans and we are fallible. So I can think that I censored everything, but then I'll go back through it and see multiple things that I missed that I didn't realize needed to be censored or removed or recontextualized, etc. So that wouldn't help me get through it either. But even then, I can't pay attention to anything that's being said in the first place to even comprehend what I'm editing, because of what it's done to my brain looking at this footage so much. For example, once I finished editing YouTube Gate, like it was officially done, I probably watched it 20 times from start to finish, just to make sure that it was finalized, because you have to watch, or at least I have to watch my final product before I put up a video and hope that I didn't miss anything before uploading. And that's no exaggeration. I literally watched it like 20 times. Honestly, it was probably more than that actually, but I couldn't keep track of what I'd seen because I worked on it so much to the point where watching it literally felt like listening to noise. No matter how hard I tried to focus, I wasn't retaining or even comprehending anything on the screen. It actually got to the point where I had to sit down with a friend of mine and she watched it with me over maybe 2 or 3 sessions to help me keep track of everything. I even had to ask her basic questions of what just popped up on the screen because essentially I guess my mind is in some sort of burnout. But luckily for me, it was already done when that burnout really like set in to the point where I couldn't do anymore. So I just uploaded it, and this is the thumbnail for those of you who haven't seen it yet. You can watch that whenever you have time if you're interested. But once it was finished and I put it up, I just figured that I'd keep pushing and edit the next part because I was burning out but finishing that part. So I thought it was possible. And I edited a significant portion, to say the least. It was quite a bit that I got through, but my mind has now reached a level of burnout where I've come to terms with the inevitable fact that I can't edit something that I can't comprehend. My mind is just, it's not working. And the uncomfortable truth is that despite me wanting to finish it, I literally just need to not look at it for a while, like a long time, until I can go in with a fresh mindset. I probably showed something by now on the screen, maybe I'll show it again, but burnout takes a long time to recover from, so we'll just see how it goes. But I just need time where it's completely out of my head so that I can cleanse my mind of this project, where I don't have every video from every YouTuber that I showcase in this project practically memorized before editing them, which conflicts with my perception of my edits, so that I can actually finish it. So between that and, even if that wasn't an issue, everything with my health, everything going on right now, it's safe to say that you should not expect that video anytime soon, but I will finish it. I just need time and space. And I know that's not something that some people want to hear, but for those of you who preemptively commented under videos and said that you would wait however long it took, I deeply appreciate that, especially now given the circumstances. And those who do understand and empathize and support me, thank you. I don't know when the video that I am currently working on will come out, but it will be sooner rather than later in a sense, but that doesn't guarantee it will be soon, if that makes sense. Essentially, I'm using the free time that I have right now to finish it, and once that's done, I'm shifting my priorities to use that time in a more efficient and effective way for my life. When it comes down to it, I looked at all of this news at first and felt very stressed. Obviously, getting bad news from a doctor, especially with a lot of uncertainty, would easily stress out anyone. But as I've been navigating this news and this process and all this information, I came to a realization. To me, it just feels like that this is some kind of sign from something that I need to focus on myself for once. And so that's what I'm going to do. What I don't like about this update is that I want to keep uploading. There are a bunch of videos that I wanted to make that I was even working on up until that point, but I can't do that anymore because doing so is only going to make things significantly worse for me in pretty much every other aspect of my life. I wish I could sit here and lay out the complexities of what I've mentioned today in this update and why this is the case, but I don't think that'd be a good idea. I think in life, and especially online, it's best to keep some things to ourselves, and these details would be an example of that. Plus, at this point, I'm kind of just over talking about it all anyway. I've probably had countless conversations going through this whole process up to this point, and I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't think I left anything else out. Again, I am currently making a video, but I don't know when it'll be done. The rest of YouTube Gate is on hold for the foreseeable future, but I did finish the first part of YouTube Gate, which is again here if you haven't seen it yet or you want to rewatch it or whatever your heart desires. So you can watch that if you haven't. And I just want to say one more thing before I end this video. Sometimes when I get stressed, I sort of close off and get stuck in my own head. By that I mean I just zero in on whatever the task is at hand to manage the core of the distress and push anything that may delay performing those tasks to the side. Emotionally, mentally, etc., I just focus on whatever is most important. And if any feelings or thoughts slows that process down, there's times where I don't even know that those are things that are even present at the time. It's not a conscious choice or anything, but that mentality is why I didn't realize just how much time went by without making any posts on my channel. And that's also why I'm saying something now, because I at least have enough of a grip on everything that's going on to finally see a sense of a clear direction through this. I thought long and hard about this video, specifically the decision that I am making today. I still have my goals and I'm not abandoning them, but I am abandoning the current route towards them because that route is no longer a viable path in my life, because my life has changed in many aspects and I just need to redirect my time. So even if I were to hold on to that path, it wouldn't yield the necessary results that I need in order to make any real progress with all this. It would only delay the inevitable and actually negatively impact everything around it in my life. And I understand that there are people who may watch this and feel disappointed or upset or even leave. And that being their decision is something that everyone has a right to do. But to all of you who see this and understand the weight of my circumstances, and to everyone who will continue to support me, what I've done, and or whatever happens going forward, all I can say is thank you. I'm going to try to continue to check in on my comments. If I get comments from you guys or anything, I'll try to still engage, but in terms of like uploading and stuff, now you know what's going on with that and why. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time.